said your role was what, sir?
I was the camera operator, radio camera operator in this particular mission.
And is it difficult for these individuals, the individuals in the white car that we're seeing, to hear this DPS airplane above?
As I stated, we are roughly 12,500 feet above the ground, 3.5 miles away. So they likely could not see us or hear us.
Earlier that day, ma'am, we were tasked with standing by in apartment areas up by the Lincoln courts. They had covert surveillance units watching different areas for the suspect. And so I wouldn't say that my tasking was as much surveillance as it was to be on standby to respond to the surveillance units when they were ready for us to make an apprehension. I am in the white unmarked police vehicle over here on the left at the bottom of the screen. I moved around to the driver's side door with other officers covering down for safety. This is a tactic we train on fairly often. And I opened the driver's side door, scanned and assessed the suspect for any weapons on his person, undid his seatbelt, assisted him to the ground, at which point he was handcuffed and taken into custody.
I positioned myself on the driver, which is the suspect, so I approached him, held him at gunpoint, and was giving him commands through the windshield.
Were there any shots fired by any of the SWAT members that day?
No, sir.
Our responsibilities at that time, they would entail was just supplementing the team. The team charged with the takedown is using the element of surprise to attempt to apprehend the suspect at that time. Well, it's very complex in nature, the way we have to acknowledge our emotions at that time. But it's priority from early on in our training, from the minute that we get accepted as a member of the team. Throughout the various aspects and any aspect of training, there's an element of emotional control, which is an absolute prerequisite.
Can you tell us briefly then about your role and the arrest of the defendant?
Pulled up, identified the license plate and then the driver as the suspect. Exited the driver's side of the vehicle, drew my pistol out, gave verbal commands for everybody in the car to show me their hands. They did. They were compliant.
What statement specifically did the defendant make to you or in your presence during the pat-down?
Yes, ma'am. He made it felt good to shoot him.
So I ask that you return no later than 1 o'clock. We'll go through till about 5:30. All right, have a good evening. See you tomorrow at 1.
All right, for the jury.